This is a pure Artificer that focuses on repeating crossbows. And this takes pretty heavy inspiration just from classic Artificer synergies. Artificers have always been very focused on the repeaters ever since they first came out, but they've received some updates, especially with rune arms and their trees. And so taking advantage of that and the imbue is what I wanted to do with this build. With that, I've played a great crossbow of this version of this build. I played a great crossbow version of this build through a hardcore already. Did very well until a bug ended up taking it out, but did great going up. This build should just have more damage with all the same utility going on with all the imbue changes. Some of its strengths is that it's range damage, so it has good flexibility and safety, being able to stay away from the close range fight and all the melee mobs, as well as being able to single out casters and other ranged mobs and take them out before they become any of a threat. Endless Fusillade, one of the most powerful single target abilities for your ranged crossbows, being able to slam all of your damage just in this 18-second window and just so much damage, 15-second window with the reload. Doing great, as well as comboing with imbue damage to further up that, just the sheer amount of volume of shots you're putting down range. Great. We're playing a Warforged, and with that being an Artificer, your self-healing is very good. Be able to take Quicken, self-heal up, and go from there. And an Artificer also has utility of disarming traps, and having some powerful self-buffing spells to give yourself imbue, give your friendly party members, deadly weapons. Some of the weaknesses, though, your AoE is very limited until you get improved precise shot at 15, and then it only does in a straight line cleave or pierce damage. So that's a little unfortunate. Your leveling is somewhat slow because of no AoE, but it's relatively safe. If you're self-healing, you're being able to stay back, your trapping abilities, all great things for leveling. You don't have invasion, though, traps, so some boxes can be really spooky to try to do. Some boxes you're just not going to do that a rogue could, because you have that evasion. And there's a little bit more going on with your trapping gear, your getting repair spell power, and your imbue spell power, keeping track of all your attributes and all your damage and just raw damage, accuracy seeker stats, and then balancing your rune arm as well, and keeping that up and going if you want to add that. With that, though, looking at the enhancements, being a repeater, you're looking at just pure battle engineer, going right up the tree, getting huge damage, crit, accomplish bonus crit at range, all the way up the left side of the tree, extra 0.5 W that you spend in this tree, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about spending it in the Warforged tree. And your imbue, 1d6 lightning, scaling with lightning spell power, or electric spell power. This is going to enhance your damage a ton as you scale it more and more as you get more imbue, and then combo with Endless Fusillade. Endless Fusillade being one of the best single target abilities in the entire game. Get more imbue, more power with rune arms. Going to be great. Even while wearing rune armor, you're a little bit more mobile, which is nice. Catches you back up to some of the more fast classes with flashes, being a ranged character because you don't have any burst movement. Extra action boost, great for your Fusillade, so you just press it on cooldown. Overall, doing great. Really high stable charge due to the infused weapon line. And that gives you more universal spell power for your imbues again. You go up the Harper tree, grab Know the Angles. You'll get Insightful damage as a spell, so you just need Insightful to hit right here. You don't have to worry about going all the way up. Trance for your insight damage. Inquisitive tree gives you a little bit more imbue, a little bit more to hit. Renegade Mastermaker, a little bit more HP, which is very nice. And then defenses and a little bit of range power and PRR in the Warforged tree. From there, we are going to scale up the Shirati tree. You don't make as big of use of Hunt's End and the big burst that it does, but it still works out very well. Being a range class, having just a button if you need to instantly kill a target, press it or continuing to augment your high single target damage. As well as you are an imbue builder, so you'll get multiple times, at least 3, if not 4 times this extra imbue dice 1d7. So that's 3 to 4 d77 extra damage, increasing it by roughly 50% for whenever you're proccing the prism and going up the tree. A little bit of CC, which is nice, with pin and autos. Double shot with Watchful Eye, and then Mass Chaos applying 50% more damage as you stack it up all sources, so it helps your party out a ton. Bunch of damage on a raid boss is doing great. The Macrotechnic is a tree built for Artificer specifically, and so it synergizes pretty well with you. You get the benefits of using your rune arm. You get the benefits of being electric spell power, which is what your imbue is. No fail on reflex. With insightful reflexes, it makes it so you're able to tank some traps if you need. Remove your arcane spell failure, which allows you to go adamantine body, and then double shot and imbue, which is great. Next up, Legendary Dreadnought. Get the extra imbue, get the ghost touch. Bonus action boosts is great for your Endless Fusillade. Bonus ability scores, fantastic for just your offensive power. And then more HP and tankiness. Artificer is pretty naturally tanky, so they'll just continue to augment that more and more. The Artificer has a fair amount of spells in the rock, being greater elemental weapons, which is 2 alchemical bonus to imbue, which is grand. You can give your friendlies deadly. You get self-casting Reconstruct, Radiant Force Field for 25% less damage. Insightful damage. Flame bolts, conjure bolts. So much available. Good resistances, armor of speed for while you're leveling up. Any alignment base, cold iron, adamantine, Bishek, any of the weapons going. It's grand for Artificer. You can even drop a point out of double shot to take warding inscription to make your abrasive armor stack with no cap, just giving you more temporary HP. Works out great, and all the free repairs. With that, looking at the feats, simple ranger feats, which is great. Your ranged feats, point blank, extra W, rapid shot, and you get rapid reload for free at level 2 Artificer. Rapid shot does scale your repeaters, which is nice. Quicken pretty early, keeping yourself up, and insightful reflexes, allowing you to tank a little bit of traps if you end up misstepping or anything like that. Range focus and power crit, bonus damage, enjoy it. And then precise shot, improved precise shot at 15, along with improved critical ranged. Improved precise shot at 15 is a little late, but you can't really do much. Your BAB isn't high enough elsewhere, so getting it as soon as possible and adding that little bit of AoE and kiting mob, and getting precision for the bonus bypass and hit. Single weapon fighting for an Artificer feat, just for the extra HP and heroic durability. And then same thing with adamantine body late. You get this, you end up not taking this right away until you can get fluidity to no longer have arcane spell failure, but that adds a lot of defenses, a lot of PRR from adamantine body. Then going simple feats, you already had to get 17 or 19 dex for improved precise shot, so having 17 for combat archery and the extra W is great. Overwhelming critical for the damage, double shot. You get expanded clip, which is nice. It increases your damage by just a little bit more, having that 4th shot. And whenever you're triggering an active ability like Thunder Weapons or Caustic Shot, it applies to all 4 of your shots instead of 3. Harbinger of Chaos, double shot, imbue dice, grand for an imbue build. Watch Fly again for the 5% double shot and Pierce Deception. And Sonic Embury, or Sound of Aboria, imbue, enhanced bonus to your weapon, which you already have a ton of enhancement bonus to. Spell power, universal spell power, which is great for us still because of the imbue, and range power, and 1 more imbue die. Feats pretty simple, but very powerful, very synergistical for the build. Moving on over to here, you're running Shadow's Emptiness set for the bonus imbue die, as well as artifact double shot. You make use of the universal spell power and the MRR because you're wearing heavy armor with adamantine body, so you can scale your MRR pretty highly. And then just full forbidden knowledge, getting the universal spell power, the ranged power, attack damage, ability scores, and PRR. Great. Your weapons of choice are repeating crossbows, dino bone. You can get a little higher with the reliquary repeater, but you don't get as many bonuses on it. With this, you're able to get your electric spell power as high as possible, as well as a little bit of bypass and damage. Let's keep scaling that up. You do have to augment your repair spell power, which is a little unfortunate, but not too bad to do, especially as you're leveling up to endgame and trying to eke out all that little benefits. And affirmation, fantastic for just keeping yourself alive. You're already pretty tanky, so just having that extra leeway and keeping it up 100% because of how much offensive power you're putting down range, it'll work great. Now your rune arm gives you over here, it's giving you your forbidden knowledge set, bonus electric damage, scaling with range power, which is great. And then the offensive power of rune arms themselves can do a lot. They don't scale insanely with this build. Just keeping them charged and dealing a bunch of damage is grand. And just having it in the offhand just applies so much more lightning damage to your repeater shots. But if you want to do a little burst, you can. Looking at the gear, this is part of the Shadow's Emptiness set. Going MRR here. And then we get our PRR elsewhere. The goggles are your int base, so int quality potency is beneficial for us to scale that electric spell power as well as insightful spell sight. And then having true seeing and blindness immunity built in, great overall. You can use everything there. Great offensive helm for the shadow set. This also has forbidden knowledge, offensive helm for the shadow set, deadly accuracy, arm piercing seeker. Great, just to have all those in one place. Defensive, especially for us Warforged, with Repair Amp, Insightful PRR, and Profane Life, as well as Forbidden Knowledge. We make use of everything here. This Trinket is nice because it gives us a Forbidden Knowledge set, but also Rune Arm recharge rate. And then a little bit of soundproofing, which doesn't affect a ton, but you don't want to get greater shouted. But that recharge rate is really nice, along with being a part of a set in Trinket slot, which are generally a little bit harder to fill. The cloak is the last part of the Shadow's Emptiness set, giving us our quality, deadly, accuracy, insightful double strike, and insightful armor piercing. We get our insightful deadly through our int trance, the angles. So that's all of our main offensive things sorted. The belts, quality PRR, quality fortification, vitality, constitution, is a huge health belt. So great. This ring that isn't in the builder right now is the unnatural accuracy, giving us our quality double shot, which is the only place we can get, and greater marksmanship, as well as a little distant diversion, giving us our range damage and ranged attack. We use Dino Bone, which is nice. This actually allows us to go MRR on the Dino Bone and go the Bulwark with the Shadow's Emptiness set, and this gives us freedom of movement for free, which is nice. That being said, we do have PRR elsewhere if you don't want to do that. Gives us our false life, which is very nice, not having to augment that, and then Relentless Fury, keeping our main W damage up high. We're using Deep Snows. We actually already have freedom of movement here as well, so you don't need it here. This also gives a bonus to saves, so we have everything covered. Deep Snows, big con, sorts out all of the rest of our con needs, and then a Nightfall Ring for insightful intelligence and a backup insightful deadly in case we don't have know the angles up, as well as PRR if you want to have the MRR as the spell shields, spell shield docent. And then we have these bracers, which give our insightful seeker, which is generally harder to fit, but and our quality int, so it rounds out our build very, very well, having that insightful seeker, giving our crits a little bit more oomph. The filigrees Looking at electrocution, just simple imbue filigrees, but also scales our electro spell power, which is fantastic. We'll have con with PRR, which is nice. A little bit more defenses. Long Shadow, again, range power imbue works great for us. Int with range power. And then Reverberation, nice little 2-piece 2 imbue with double PRR, giving us a little more defenses and then just a fast imbue. We have stances. We have a Rune Arm tier, which will be around 3 or 4. We can balance our Archer's focus. Even if it's just around 10, give us a lot of range power, which would be fantastic. Electric spell power, quicken, know the angles, our mantle. Going up into the breakdown, we have 60 intelligence, a little low, but we're scaling so much of our damage through our imbue that is a-okay. We're not trying to have the huge front numbers. Our con is out of this world though. Big con for being a Warforged. We get a ton of HP elsewhere. Our forward's doing pretty all right. Our reflex, no fail on 1, which is nice. We can take a couple spells to the face and be fine. Only 1500 HP at the moment, but with that, we have 200 PRR, giving us 67% reduction there, and even 83 MRR, which is pretty respectable, 45% reduction to magic. A-okay. Huge fortification. We're not going to get crit at all. Thing to note, we actually get that extra 10% movement speed while wearing a Rune Arm, which is grand. Our offensive power, looking at around 24 imbue dice. This is not this is counts our great elemental weapon, but this can go higher with like Crusade going on. Our double shot is up at 60%. That can go higher with Reaper boost double shot as well. Huge range power, 245 with some Archer focus stacks. That pushes us just our front number even farther. You're doing a ton of front number. You're doing a ton of imbue damage. It's very strong build overall. And then our weapon to hit 129, fantastic. Bonus damage 95. Same thing with our crit damage. Whenever we do crit, whenever we do press Hunt's End, we're getting a big chunk of damage there. It's not our main, but this is even like a backup, right? Mainly this is focused on your imbue damage. Huge crit threat range, big multipliers going on. Not the big est, but again, still a lot of damage. Really big W on this build as well. Fantastic. And with that, I believe that wraps up the build. Really strong overall. A lot of imbue damage. Nice flexibility with trapping. And then great stuff healing.